Hello everyone, my name is Carlos Ivan Garcia and I want to share some reflections on the life of Samuel Johnson, written by James Boswell. This biography is considered one of the greatest ever written, not only because of Johnson's importance as a writer and thinker, but also because Boswell gives us a very personal look at him. Samuel Johnson was born in Lichfield, England, in 1709. Even though he struggled with health problems as a child, he grew up with a deep love for books and learning. Later, he became one of the most important writers and critics of the 18th century. In 1755, he published a dictionary of the English language, which was the most influential English dictionary for over 100 years. Beyond his writing, Johnson was also famous for his sharp wit and powerful conversations, many of which were recorded by his friend James Boswell in The Life of Samuel Johnson. In my presentation, I will focus on two main questions. First, what Boswell's own thoughts and feelings reveal about his personality, and second, how my impression of Johnson changed from their first meeting to the way he is later described. So let's start. Question number 1. Boswell inserts his own thoughts and feelings throughout the biography. Based on them, what would you say Boswell was like? Well, in the biography, Boswell portrays himself as a very observant man with great admiration for Johnson. From the outset, he expressed how important it was for him to know Johnson. In the first entry, he said, "I have for several years read his works with delight and instruction, and had the highest reverence for the author." Boswell, page 2. This reflects sensitivity, respect, and genuine desire to learn. Furthermore, it is clear that Boswell was attentive to Johnson's every gesture and word. He himself acknowledged how he recorded even the smallest reactions. On another occasion, he said, I was much gratified with the extraordinary vigor of his conversation, and regretted having been cut off from it by an engagement elsewhere." Boswell, page 4. His dedication shows that he not only sought companionship, but also to preserve the memory of those experiences. Although he started timidly, he gradually gained confidence, even when Johnson initially treated him somewhat rudely. Boswell persevered. This reflects his persistence, enthusiasm, and a sincere interest in getting closer to Johnson. In conclusion, Boswell emerges as an attentive, persevering, and thoughtful man who combined admiration with a critical spirit, qualities that made him a great biographer. Question number 2. What was your impression of Johnson during his first meeting with Boswell? Did your impression change as you read more about him? Well, my first impression of Johnson was a brusque and difficult man to deal with. Upon their first meeting, Boswell confesses that he was somewhat shocked. He said, "This stunned me a good deal, and when we had sat down, I felt myself not a little embarrassed and apprehensive of what might come next." Boswell, page 3. Johnson's curt responses gave the impression of someone harsh and unkind. However, the perception begins to change upon closer inspection of his character. Despite his initial rudeness, it becomes clear that part of this harshness had to do with his health problems, his strong character, and even his melancholy. Boswell realized there was no malice in him. He said, I was satisfied that thought here was a rudeness in his manner. There was no ill nature in his disposition. Boswell, page 4. This revealed that Johnson could be stern in his speech, but deep down he was fair and even kind. We discover a man of great intelligence, humor, and the ability to express things clearly and forcefully. Finally, the broader description of his character confirms this blend of outward harshness and inner humanity. Boswell said, he was impetuous and irritable in his temper, but of a most human and benevolent heart. Boswell, page 8. Thus, the impression shifts from seeing him merely as a harsh man to recognize him as a brilliant, sensitive, and deeply human person. And that's all for today. Thank you so much and see you soon.